My name is Natalya Hughes and I'm a practicing artist and an academic at Griffith. I was born in Maxville, which is a small town halfway between Brisbane and Sydney. I mostly make paintings, but also installation, sculpture, lots of things. What I try to utilise is decoration and pattern when I make paintings as a kind of language that's available for use, except that historically no one really wanted their paintings read as decorative because it was a huge insult. My primary job, other than being an artist, has been as an academic. I know that it's always been not just about teaching, but also about learning from students and staying enthusiastic about what I do and finding ways of prompting new bodies of work through interactions with people. Like, the biggest thing about teaching is you're constantly receiving new stimulus for, new ideas. Sometimes it's that in a classroom, a student is really struggling in response to a particular material and they give you an idea for a work and then you help them revise that idea. That's its own form of making, I think. So I always really enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm very influenced by textiles and textile design, costume illustration, fashion illustration, and also practices that have to do with the body in very basic terms. People like, Louise Bourgeois, Eva Hess, Yayoi Kusama, Sarah Lucas's sculptural work, and Linda Benglis, and lots of post-minimalist practice. And the thing that they all had in common was that they negotiated a kind of body, but not in figurative or obvious ways. So those were the sculptors that I was particularly interested in. I kind of came to painting a little bit later. With regards to 2D or painting practices, the decorative aspect is the thing that I am really interested in. Kara Walker, Aubrey Beardsley, Japanese woodblock prints have been incredibly important. And then just different moments of textile design. I just think there's so much there that hasn't been attended to in art. So a lot of my resource books I have here in the studio are pattern libraries. I use that as a way of generating ideas as much as I do looking at contemporary art. I have always had an appropriation-based practice. I'm not someone who sits down and sketches from the world, for example. I usually start from someone else's practice. And it's usually motivated by curiosity about that practice. I know with patterns and decoration, initially I just wanted to understand the way they repeated and how they broke down into individual units. And then with certain practitioners, I wanted to know the logic of it, like how they came to be to make that thing. And I think taking it apart, breaking it into pieces, was the best way to do that. My way of working is probably very different to other people's way of working because I have to start from somewhere that already is in place. And I'm pretty disdainful of the idea of the creative being around inspiration, like some, higher agency bestowing upon you some amazing idea. I've always kind of felt like it's about responding to what's already around. That's just what I've come to understand as my way of working.